Well, hello. Shalom. How are you guys doing today? I'm here today to talk about one of my favorite but least favorite subjects, and that's marriage. Um, we have a very distinct view going on about marriage these days. We have the Western view and we have the Eastern view. And the Western view is one man, one woman. Well, Western view has done some major changes lately, because we got one woman and one woman together, one man and one man, that's stupidity. But majority of the time the view is one man, one woman. Monogamous marriage. And and the thing that we have been taught is normal. And then you have the Eastern view where, a man is allowed more than one wife. Um, Other than the Mormons here in the United States, usually people here didn't hold that view. That has changed over the last 15 years that I've noticed. A lot longer probably for no majority of the people that I know now who have grown up in families that way, especially amongst the Hebrew Israelites. They grew up among people who had 2 and 3 and 4 wives. I don't think they really had really more than that. But they grew up in I don't like the term sister wife because that's not my wife. And we might be sisters in the Most High, but that wouldn't be my wife. That's his wife. So if I was in that kind of relationship, so I would say maybe our co-wives or something to him or whatever. That's but I don't know, whatever. But they grew up in that dynamic, and they have come to understand what that's about. Some people have a negative view of that. Some people have a great view of that. They think that that is the way to live. So I don't tend to put people down for what they have determined is a good deal for them. I think that pretty much I have a problem with that being maybe forced upon the women here in the West who are not mentally prepared for that. And I don't think a lot of men are really mentally prepared for that. I think they like the idea of it. I can have this wife, and then if I see a sister that I think is beautiful and intelligent, and I want to add her to the punch, usually that may be his thought, which is I mean, if he's living that lifestyle and it's all accepted, that's a good thing if that's the way he sees it, that she's um, an add-in to his life in a good way, and he can add into hers in a good positive way. That's cool. But a lot of times, especially these really new cats, they're just trying to find, for lack of a better term, new booty. It's as someone told me, ain't nothing better than I hate to say this, than pussy, but new pussy. So uh, so that's usually what's happening. Um, so it puts a wife who has been with this man X amount of years and only understands the Western thought of marriage in a very, very special situation. And I really find it unfair of a husband to say, okay, well, this is acceptable by the Most High. And it is. I'm not saying that it's not. It's all through the Tanakh that, this happened. This is acceptable to the Most High of a man having more than one wife. Okay. But just, I think I'm more thinking about a man thinking about the feelings of the woman who is not prepared to share her husband. You know, and I've heard some women go, "Oh, you not, you know, how you gonna share? He don't belong to you. He's, you know." Well, still, in her mind, she is sharing her husband. I would be sharing her husband with another woman, and Western women, for the most part, are not prepared for that. Even though, even though they have been cheated on, and they shared their husbands unbeknownst to themselves that this was happening, you know. And sometimes they did know, but the thing of it is that she still held position as wife. And this other person that that was, you know, that he brought into the equation, usually behind her back and without her knowledge of any of this going on, this person is, you know, for lack of a better term, you know, the hoe, you know, the slut, um, you know, getting my seconds, or, you know, getting the crumbs that he throws at her. And that's the way we as American women have viewed it. They said, well, you know, you have the European mindset of marriage. I'm not saying that's not true. That's not my argument at all. It is true. But until the mindset of the women here is changed, of the Hebrew-Israelite women is changed, you're still going to have resistance. And I think that a man who already has a wife, who's already married. Now, if you're single and you're looking for someone to be in your life, that's different. You let them know up front, this is who I am. I am a man who believes in polygyny, and I'm going to have more than one wife. And that's just it. That's all there is to it. And either you accept that or you don't. So, and all a woman can do is say, okay, you know, or say, bye. You know, that is her prerogative, and she has that choice to do so. But I think when a man is already married and got married under the intention of having a monogamous marriage, and suddenly he becomes aware uh, of his option of having more than one wife. I think if he loves his wife, if he cares about her well-being and her state of mind, he would go really, really slow with her. It may take a long time for the sister to accept what you're wanting to do. And she may not ever accept it, and you run the risk of losing her if you decide to um, do it anyway, sadly enough. You know, I just think that when it comes down to West versus East, that we need to be considerate of one another. If you know, if you're a woman and your man believes in polygyny and you can't give him a child, let him have that. Let him have the extra wife so he can have, you know, progeny. That is something that a man needs to have. I think that, you know, very rarely does a man think that it's okay that he doesn't have children. So if he doesn't have children and you can't give him children, step out the way. Let him have them. Let another woman come in. You know, I'm not saying that you have to be kicked to the curb if he loves you. I don't think he's going to do that to you. You know, but people are human. But at the same time, if you love him and you can't do that for him and you know he wants to, go out the way and let the other woman do it. I mean, let him have the second wife. But you know, we have to be more considerate of one another and our feelings and how we treat each other. And I think that when polygyny became a factor for us, when it became so well known and pushed out there for us, that it felt for us women like a slap, you know, slap in the face. I remember, you know, having someone broach that subject with me, and it really felt like I was kicked because um, I was in the mindset of, we're going to be together. And when I say we're, I mean me and him. That is it. No one else. So when that subject came up, I was resistant of it because I didn't think that that had been a factor between him and I. I thought that it would just be me and him, and that was all that he wanted or needed, but he expressed that that was not the case. So that put a big strain on him and I. So I think that when it comes down to it, if you're already in a relationship, you know, what would the Most High think? What would He say? You know, He knows that this young woman or this older woman, He knows that this woman does not understand this. When He say, okay, well, it don't matter, kick in the chin and go and get what you want. Would He think that? Would that be okay? Because He is a understanding power. He is a loving power. I'm not saying that He don't hold the law down, but if you think about it, this has not been the law. It's been winked at and allowed. It's allowed, but it's not something where, and provisions are made for it in the law that you can't, you know, um, slight the first wife, and things like that, because he knows this is what people do. They have more than one wife. But it's not a case of where it's like thou shalt take more than one wife, where she's just breaking the law because she's telling you no, or that she doesn't want that, or it's gonna hurt her. So think about it. Think about what the Most High would think of you, just dragging her through it. And I know some of you that would see this and go, that's my option. I do it on, what I want to do, and I don't have to comply with that because, I'm me, and I'm a son of Israel, and we can have this because this is what we can have. Okay, but when she's crying in the night, when she's distant, when she, you know, pulling back from you, you'll feel it and you'll know it. And if this has been your wife, and if you love her at all, it's going to bother you. And it's going to open the door in her mind for her to walk away. Personally, I don't think you should sacrifice the marriage that you have for someone that may or may not work out. Now, if you're single, let's go back to that. If you're single, be very upfront at the first, when you first meet the sister. Let her know, this is who I am. This is the kind of man I am. This is how I live my life, or this is how I want to live my life, and I'm not going to change it for you. So you need to make a decision now about what you want, and let her make that decision. You would be greatly appreciated, a whole lot more if you do. Well, that's my thought on it. I didn't want to go over 15 minutes of just running my mouth about a subject. But, ladies, I say this, have an open mind where this subject is concerned. We have a lot of single women out here without a husband who really would like someone in their life. And maybe polygyny is an option. I don't know, for you. I'm not going to say I haven't considered it myself. But think about it. Let the Most High lead you. Deep prayer, deep prayer. That's all I can tell you. Pray about it. All right, you guys. Shalom.